What's going on, guys? Welcome to a brand new YouTube video. Today we are bringing you something slightly different. Okay, now I've been reading all the comments, and a lot of people, and I mean a lot of you guys have been asking if I could do some sort of breakdown video on one of my gameplays, you know, what's going through my head, you know, when I'm playing and how I'm thinking, the communications and whatnot. So I've tried doing it here. It's my first attempt at doing it. I've never really done something like this, so hopefully, you know, it's worked out well. I do apologize, as I said, it is my first time doing it, but let me know down in the comments, guys, if you want to see more of this. Maybe even over on Twitch I do an official live one while playing the game, not just talking over a video. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you hit that sub button, make sure that notification bell is rung. I'd really appreciate it. And let's see if we can hit 500 likes on this video. I know you guys are amazing and you're all cuties and you could probably do it, but let's see if we can do that, guys. I'd really appreciate it. Also, check out the links down in the description if you could follow me over my overall socials. We have some big announcements coming on Twitter and on Twitch, so please, guys, make sure you follow us over there. Much love to you all, and let's crack straight into it. So obviously today, guys, we are obviously going to be focusing on doing some sort of communications for you guys. You asked about, you know, what goes through my brain when I'm playing the game. So what I thought I'd do right now is show you just a little, like, this is a clip of when me and my team, we managed to get 106 kills between us. And, you know, I thought the best thing to do would be to show you a gameplay like this where there's a little bit of everything going on, you know. And so obviously we always land at Superstore majority of the time. Not always, but the majority of the time. When in Superstore, it kind of does get a bit hectic, you know. We do have a system where we try to stick together. We all run around the same direction. But sometimes, you know, you see a red dot and you just want to challenge it. And, you know, we could improve, I suppose, on the aspects of our landing at Superstore. I really do believe. And honestly, like, as I said, it doesn't go perfect every time. The majority of the time we will sometimes lose one or two people. But obviously, in general, we tend to try and do, like, as best as we can upon running around Superstore. But I'm sure you guys know from landing here yourself, it can be very hectic. But what goes through my head the majority of the time is just sweeping the bottom floor, and then sweeping the top floor, and then leaving and getting a loadout. Obviously, the reason we go to Superstore is there's normally a lot of action, okay? Not only is there a lot of action, it means you can get a lot of kills. But not only that, there's a lot of money. So with the money, a lot of money being on the floor, it obviously means you can instantly go and get, you know, your loadout. So already, you know, we got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12. We have like 16, 17k, which means not only can we get a loadout, we can also get a UAV right at the start. And that means we can then pop the UAV and instantly run and go and get as much kills as possible, depending on where the red dots show up. Obviously, if you don't get a UAV, you kind of just got to guess. So obviously, what we're doing now is we've just finished going through, you know, the rest of the top floor. I'm obviously still down the bottom because the king has just popped up. So I'm obviously going to quickly go and take that out. But in general, you know, I've turned the volume down so you can focus on what I'm talking about. But you got to remember, there's always communication going on. Sometimes there's not enough communication. Sometimes there's, you know, too much talking. There's loads of different things that could happen. But obviously, in general, we do keep the communication nice and clear, so that way that, you know, there's no mix-ups in what's going on. But as you can see, guys, we just cleared out Superstore. I'm on 3 kills. I think the other guys are on, you know, decent kills as well. But in general, so we go to get our loadout. Once we've got our loadout, obviously, as I said, we now have enough for everyone to get a UAV, not just the one person. So it really does help in this situation to try and have as much money as possible. Hence why that's why we go Superstore. So obviously I grabbed the loadout for everyone, and yeah, we just pretty much make sure that we get a UAV. Normally we have a trophy in the car. This time it looks like we don't have one. But we try and get a trophy in the car. So we see a lot of red dots. This is beautiful. Normally we would kind of split up, but I think in this situation, we pretty much stayed together for the start of it. I'm actually using the M13 in this class. A lot of people have asked why I switched over to the Kilo. Obviously, I missed the jump there to get onto the thing, onto the wall, therefore easily managed to get my kill. But in general, I mean, I think that the main the main thing we're doing. So I'm calling out as a sniper. Obviously, I've already informed the team, making sure the pings are fresh and up to date. Now, that's a really good good tip, guys. Is I've seen a lot of people when I play with them that will have they'll ping something, they'll keep the ping there. They'll keep the ping there until someone tells them to remove it. What you want to be doing is you want to you know, see, so there's still a red dot over there. That's why my green ping is still there. Now, don't get me wrong, I do sometimes forget to remove pings myself. Like right now, I should already have moved my ping. I haven't already done it yet. But obviously, what I'm trying to say is a really good way to be consistent. As you can tell right now, if you look at the top left, all of our pings are still there. We really could work on that, make sure that we, you know, improve on getting rid of those pings at a much quicker rate, if that makes sense. But in general, obviously, I was just trying to protect Easy here. I wanted to get to him before, you know, they got down. I wasn't too sure. Two people have just come over the hill. I see another red dot over here. You know, I want to make sure that we're not going to get crept up on. I didn't look at the UAV correctly. Obviously, he was above us in the sky. So, he wasn't really a threat. But this guy started jumping down, so I had to stop the revive and keep starting it again. But in general, obviously, what you want to do is you want to try and make sure that, you know, it's really hard when going for really high kill games, because the problem you have is you want to split up, but then at the same time as splitting up, you don't really want to be too far in case, you know, there's an accident and someone does go down. And you just want to try and get to them as quick as possible. But in general, guys, I really think that, you know, what goes through my head when pushing things is I try to make sure that I'm near some form of cover as much as possible. Obviously, it doesn't always work out. Sometimes I will be caught in the open. But in general, what we want to be doing, or what I want to be doing, is making sure that I'm able to, you know, if I do start getting shot at randomly, get behind a piece of cover that's close as possible, so I don't extend too much. Now, I know they're both there. I still stay really close to the silo, because I want to make sure that if I start getting shot at, I'm easily able to get straight back behind there and keep myself in cover. I don't want to have, you know, I don't want to have too much time where I'm left out in the open where I can be killed. So these walls here can actually be shot through. So if you notice there, I pinged him through the wall and then I shot him through the wall. There, right there. So you pinged him, I shot him, I knocked him. I move on to the next person. So a lot of the times, I don't actually finish my kills straight away. Sometimes I will. But if you notice here, I was trying to ping through the wall. So these walls at airport, you can actually ping through and you can shoot through them. So it's really good, but obviously at the same time, it can be quite hard when you're the ones that are at that wall, unfortunately. I mean, most people know about these walls, but not everyone, you know. The amount of times I've been called a hacker from shooting through these walls, it's just I know that you can shoot through. Therefore, it's a lot easier for me when I do hit these, you know, the clips through the walls. Now, I have an explanation. So now I see that someone's below. So what I want to do is I don't want to jump straight down, because if I jump straight down, I don't know how many down there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I knock this guy and I first him. The bounty's still there. It means I know there's someone else. I kill this guy. I thirst him. Bounty's still there. There's someone else. So now I really have to... I have to think, am I going to jump down? Will I win this gunfight? And I see him, so I know where to aim. That's why I jumped down. Now, a lot of people would probably have just jumped over that wall and tried to kill someone. But all three of these... So the storm is on the other side. They know no one's coming from the other side. So they're all three going to be looking this way. The chance of you winning that fight while all three of them are looking at you is very remote. You know, you could win the fight if they, you know, were missing their shots or whatever. But the general chance of you winning that gunfight on your own against three people that are all aiming the same way in the direction you're going to be jumping down is very unlikely. So, therefore, obviously, it's not the best idea to jump down there. Obviously, playing it safe, picking one off, making sure you've got an angle on them. You know, if anything happened and I got shot at and I really couldn't survive, all I would have had to do is jump down onto the other side of the wall, up the top, and I would have been back into safety. Now, obviously, I was about to leave them, but they started shooting at me, so I jumped off. They see the car continue moving. Now, you notice how I'm rotating around a rock. I'm keeping myself by this rock, so that at any given point, I rotate to the next rock. So instead of running straight to the house, I run to another rock to make sure I've always got that form of cover available when needed, if that makes sense. Now, rotating around houses, don't just continue shooting from one direction. If you keep rotating around a house, rotating around any different form of building, obstacle, whatever's there, that honestly will be the best plan, I personally think. It works for me a lot of the time, because obviously if you just stay shooting in one window, they know where you are. They'll call it out. They'll keep shooting through that window. And then, you know, everyone, the whole team, especially if you're running off on your own. Like, if you notice, look, my teammates aren't close. You mean, they're close, but they're not on me. So if I go down, they're not going to get to me in time. So I need to think about my safety. And upon doing this, you obviously need to, like, make sure that you maneuver and, you know, get around the obstacles that you have available. Now, if you notice, I jump off. I'm still rotating. Make sure you're mounting. So, especially when using ARs at long range, I would highly advise mounting. A lot of people don't do it, but I promise you right now, it's going to be the best plan of action. I promise you, because you don't get hardly any recoil. So what I was shooting at on the floor there is the ammo case on the floor. So the ammo cases explode and do a lot of damage. I think it's like 2 C4s like going off at once if they're next to it. So obviously I'm just trying to listen. I've killed 2. There could potentially be another 2. So I was just trying to listen for footsteps as I walked in. You know, right now the only information I have is, you know, that someone is up here, one person, and he was preferably to the right. Now, what I do is I heal up. But you notice how I don't go down the stairs? I then don't go all the way up. I keep myself in that middle set of stairs so that basically if someone pushes me from the top, I can quickly run down the stairs while continue to heal. If I get pushed from the bottom, I can run up the stairs to continue to heal. I'm putting myself in a position where I have a multi-exit strategy. Honestly, going into buildings like this, going up the zip lines, they're always dangerous. Anyone could be sitting at the top here. It's kind of risky, but, you know, it's the quicker method than taking 17 flights of stairs. And in this building, I think it's 18. I'm not too sure. But, guys, honestly, picking your fights, knowing when to use C4, when not to use C4. I see that there's a heli. If I throw and blow that heli up, it's going to do a lot of damage to the nearby people. So, obviously, you need to think about what's in the area, what could help you, you know, get the most. Now, I downed 2 people. Luckily, they didn't have self-res. If they had self-res there, that might have been a different situation, especially as I had my M13 out. I ran out of ammo in my... I ran out of, like, the ammo in my magazine for the MP7. So, switching over to that the M13 was a bit risky, but it paid off in the end. So now pretty much we're coming towards the end of the zone. Now positioning on the end of the zone is very, it's very situational depending on where the zone is. Obviously the zone could end all over the place. Guys, just to let you know, you see the thing that's coming up now, the following, I have actually removed that for every time someone follows me, so it won't take up most of the screen. I do apologize. I was a very, very small streamer before. I didn't have a lot of people following me, so it was really cool to have that effect for those. But yeah, that I can confirm that that's no longer here. I accidentally messed up that airstrike. I hit the tree, I believe. But basically, guys, almost there. I left myself in a location that I could easily have died from. Like here, see, I went down. I overextended. I stayed. I stayed unwelcomed there for too long. I stayed in one area too long. It got me killed. Well, it got me knocked. Not killed, but it got me knocked, you know. Especially when I was having that fight just before. I was in the open. I wasn't even by a tree. So once there again, you know, I've seen red dots. I was getting bloodthirsty. I made the mistake of not, you know, making sure that I'm in cover. Now, there was red dots up there, but I weren't too sure. So I just threw a precautionary C4 to see if I'd hit anything. I didn't hear the communication that my teammate had said that they were dead. I know there were 2 teams fighting, though, so I thought maybe he was on about 1 team, not the team inside the building. So once again, guys, communication is key to everything on here. A lot of people ask me how to get wins on this game, and I say to them that the best way to get wins, I personally think, are to be using, obviously, communication very well in your team. Now, I don't know if you noticed there, guys, I picked up a UAV. I bought a UAV, called it in. He said he'd already called one in, so I called a second one in because that means that we then have an advanced UAV. But I brought an airstrike instead of a UAV because there's no one on the UAV. So there's still, what, there's 4 of us alive, which means there's only 7 enemies left, okay? Sorry, 6 enemies. Yeah, 7 enemies left. So upon obviously seeing that there's only 7 left, but only 1 of them is on the radar, the UAVs are kind of useless now because everyone has Ghost on. So instead, I get an airstrike. That way, you know, I can utilize that airstrike if needed. Now, Easy said that there's a load of people over here. Sometimes airstrikes can go hit through the window just about, so I put it just under the window. Hopefully, it'll end up grabbing one of them through the window or just over the, just to the side. There you go. I'll pick up 1 kill. Now, it gives him enough time as well because there's an airstrike for him to get rezzed. Unfortunately, he didn't realize that one of them were actually inside the little window, inside the little building in front of the house. He thought they were both inside the house. So he got picked off as he obviously self-rezzed. He was very low HP, and he got 1 shot. We then see a car coming at us from out of nowhere. It just gets away, but Iceman James manages to get that second C4 off. But guys, honestly, it was a really fun game. So positioning in the last zone, you want to try and keep the high ground. Not only do you want to try and keep the high ground, but you also want to obviously make sure that, you know, your team and are positioned in a way that you're not all clustered together, but you're still, you know, very close, so you can pick off those, you know, the people in close proximity to each other, and you can help trade. You'll hear a lot of times, oh, you stole my kill, you stole my kill. We're just messing around, obviously. It doesn't matter who gets the kill, you know, as long as you both get the kill, and or as long as you know, get the kill as a team and get that dub, that's all that matters. Obviously, it's the typical trio here, me, Easy B, and Trance with one of my old duos from back in Ghosts, Iceman James. Very, very good friend of mine. But guys, yeah, we managed to win the game here with 106 kills. Obviously, we're all splitting up. But let me know, guys, if you want to know more information on how I think and how we rotate around the maps and stuff. So what damage? We done 12,000 damage, 11,000 damage. Let's quickly pause it here. So 34 kills, 25 kills, 35 kills, and 12 kills. I mean, James doesn't really play games that too much, so I'll let him off being, you know, only on 12 kills. But in his defense as well, he was playing basically solo quads, which again he doesn't do. He doesn't really play too much. He works full-time job and pretty much hardly ever plays. I'm lucky if I get to play with him once a week, maybe twice a week. He's just too busy. So, you know, I'm not gonna bash him for, you know, not hitting a high kill game. Obviously, at the end of the day, you know, we done pretty well. Trance had 35, I had 34, and my duo Easy had 25. Lately, Easy has improved so much. He's constantly getting 30 bombs every game, and I need to step my game up now. So, but yeah, guys, honestly, I really did enjoy, you know, commentating over this and, you know, explaining to you guys what goes through my head, you know, the communications and stuff. Let me know if you just want to, you know, do some more in the future. I think that'd be really cool. And make sure you hit that like button. I'd really, really appreciate it if we could hit 500 on this video. I know you guys are amazing, and much love to you all. But guys, guess what? If you haven't already done so either, there's a link going in the chat right now. Make sure you click that, because that's going to take you over to my Twitch page where I'm currently live if you're seeing this video as it come out. Much love to you all, guys. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next video.